Kia ora everybody and welcome to the NZ Travel Show. Today it is the 16th of October, it's Sunday 8 AM New Zealand time and this is the NZ Travel Show and I don't know what I just done but that's fine, it's all fixed. Here we go, Laura, introduce us. Nothing lingerie.
Very smooth, very smooth. So this smooth guy is Robin and I'm Laura and we're the team behind NZPocketGuide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide because it literally has thousands and thousands of articles to help you plan the perfect trip to New Zealand, and it is 100% free, so why not go check it out? But if you're not really into reading, this is what the NZ Travel Show is all about. You guys can come onto the live chat, ask your New Zealand travel questions directly to the experts. I know Robin's not on screen, but he's
I'm
also...
I'm on screen.
He is now. So yeah, he is also a travel expert, New Zealand travel expert. So yeah, ask your questions in the live chat. We go through every single one of the questions. But if you do miss the live show, you can always put your questions in the comments section of any of our YouTube videos. I mean, we go through those pretty regularly.
Exactly. All right, you got us for an hour. Let's get started. And Nathan Baith, all the way from the beautiful and exotic town of Taupo, says, Kia ora. Everyone, we are here for the NZ Travel Show. I love the fact that he says hi to everyone every time. I absolutely love that, Nathan. All right, Adil says, Kia ora, Robin and Laura and all the viewers. I love that as well. Thank you very much, Adil. Okay, our first question comes from Jonathan Kramnik. I probably mispronounced your name and I'm sorry, Jonathan. I'm really sorry. But yeah, so Jonathan asks, hello, which is the best way to transport from Auckland to the Bay of Plenty if we don't have a car? Thanks.
Your best option would be to take the bus. So the only actual national bus company of
coach network,
the only national coach network in New Zealand is Intercity. So yeah, taking the Intercity bus from Auckland to pretty much any Bay of Plenty town, you know, they'll have different stops in the Bay of Plenty.
I'm guessing it's going to Tauranga or to Opotiki.
Yeah, so
or Te Puke maybe.
Maybe, or maybe Whakatane.
No, I don't. I bet you're not going to Whakatane. I think it's Opotiki, Te Puke or Tauranga because you're going over there to work, I'm guessing. So
yeah, get it. Booking yourself onto an intercity bus is a good idea. It's better to book like sooner rather than later. The later you leave it, the prices start to go up a little bit. So, yeah, booking it is definitely a tip we would give you, and it is relatively cheap to do.
Yes,
so,
yes. Going all the way to the Bay of Plenty would probably set you off about $30. No, nothing too much.
Nothing too
because
major.
Auckland to the Bay of Plenty is relatively short trip. Yeah. All right. Any other questions, Jonathan? Go nuts. We're here for you. Rafakat, says, good morning, guys, from beautiful and wet Leeds. Always capital letters, like you just insist on that. You must really want to represent Leeds.
Yeah.
All right. Anthony Comstock says Morena from Rodeo, California. Laura, what does Morena means?
It means good morning in the local language of Maori, Te Reo Maori.
Here you go. And Anthony continues and says, I arrive in Auckland on your Saturday, so next Saturday. That's less than a week ago. That's really exciting. And I know you're traveling through towns, you're traveling many different days. So what day of your week are you leaving? Like, are you leaving on Thursday or something? So you are only a handful of days away. So Anthony, if you have any questions, so we're here for you during this show, and obviously we're here also for the Patreon show. So since you are one of our Patreon supporters, so go ahead with your question, mate. You're so close to your trip. All right, guys. So while Anthony is getting ahead with all these questions, we're gonna do the question of the day. Question of the day. Question of the day.
Yeah.
All right, the question of the day. Everybody, we do have a question today for you, and it's a pretty simple one. Which city or town or place in New Zealand out of the 4 I'm going to give you are you the most excited to visit? So, are you the most excited to see Rotorua, Auckland, Queenstown, or Wellington? There is 4 choices right here for you. Out of those 4, which one is the one that kind of like, get your blood pumping the most? Yeah.
You're stoked, as they would say in
New
Zealand.
Yeah.
So stoked.
You think you're going to be chuffed after visiting this place? Yeah, here you go. We're putting all the words. Clay is going to be so proud of me. All right, so all those towns right here, go in the live chat, vote, and at the end of the video, at the end of the live session, we'll go over what the
results are.
Yeah, what's the result?
Yeah.
Nathan says, I see an upcoming travel show live road trip for Travel 203. Yeah, that's true. We will be on the road for 203, so we'll do a bit of a road trip video. That'd be a lot of fun. And next week is our number 200, so that's going to be a special show. There's going to be plenty of fun things happening, so make sure that you're joining next week for live show 200, Nathan. If you're supposed to work, call in sick. You won't want to miss it.
And also, make sure you subscribe. We've reached another milestone with subscribers. 30. Well, I thought maybe you'd.
No, go for it.
Take the baton.
No, go on.
All right. 31,000 subscribers. So join our 31,000 subscribers and join us for our 200th live show next week, and we will be stoked to have you.
Exactly.
Stoked again.
31,200 of those live shows. Do you realize 200 is almost 4 years of helping you guys? That's epic. Anyway. Let's keep going with Anthony. Says he's leaving on their Thursday. So he's leaving on Thursday US time. He's arriving on Saturday. Brenda O'Connor says, I also arrive in Auckland on Saturday, leaving the UK on Thursday.
Cool.
So same thing. So you and Anthony are leaving at the same time, arriving at the same time. Like, you and Anthony should catch up right here. You guys should go travel together, Brenda.
Yeah.
But Brenda, if you're arriving less than a week ago as well, do you have any last minute questions? Are you all packed? Like, that's what I want to know as well. Are you guys all packed if you're leaving so quickly? I love it.
Fabio is here, one of our delightful Patreons.
Delightful? Is it because he's bringing pizza to the party that you think is delightful?
Yes, if there's food involved.
This is the way to Laura's heart, by the way, everybody. Food.
If you could just pop it through the computer and share it, I would eat it at 8 a.m. New Zealand time.
She has no shame.
Exactly.
She would do like anchovy and olives pizzas
with
Hawaiian pineapples on it, like the worst pizza in the world. She will eat that at 8 a.m. in the morning.
So Fabio says, hey guys, my chat didn't work until now. I ordered pizza for the live stream.
Yeah, nice. All right, so that reminds me that today for the Patreon shout out, which is happening now. Hey guys, so this is the Patreon shout out. So if you want to join us on Patreon, you can do so with the link in the pinned comment and in the description of this video, and there's plenty of perks to get. There is a lot of different perks you can get. You get access to a secret Facebook group where you can come and hang out with us. We do a lot of different Patreon posts. I think there's more than 80 right now which are live already. They're just exclusive for Patreon. We also do have an extra 1 hour of those live shows every single Sunday, so when it finishes after an hour for everybody, there's another hour for Patreon, which is a lot of fun, and it's a bit more unscripted, with a bit more like it's a bit more unscripted. It's more fun, I think, personally. And yeah, the shout out this week, I want to shout out to Fabio, actually. Weirdly enough, he's just right here, but yeah, he was the person that wanted to make us join Patreon. Sorry, I can't speak today. And yeah, we really want to thank him so much for giving us this idea. It created a really cool community of like-minded travelers, and now we even have some people that are going to meet up when traveling around New Zealand, and hopefully the first meetup is going to happen between Monica and Armand at some point in the next couple of weeks. So here you go, join us on Patreon. It's heaps of fun and it's relatively cheap. All right, let's go back to live chat. What is Nathan saying?
Nathan says, without giving too much info for next week's travel show, what are we going to be expecting?
Well, you kind of know if you saw the thumbnail for next week, so it's not really too much, but we may end up having a brand new studio. All that is disappearing, and brand new studio that I've been working on for weeks now. I've posted a lot of behind the scene and me building stuff on the Patreon groups, but yeah, a brand new studio that is going to be really epic, bigger, better, brighter, everything.
Flashy. It's going to be a treat for the eyes, guys.
Treat for the eyes. Hopefully we don't overpromise, but yeah, new studio, here you go. That's happening next week, unveiling it at 8 a.m. on Sunday New Zealand time. Don't miss it.
For the 200th live show.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, a lot of work behind all that. So yeah.
Did we give away too much? Was that too much?
It's on the thumbnail. So on the thumbnail it says like new studio. So that's pretty much I'm not gonna give you more than that. I won't tell you what it is and everything. But yeah, we're gonna unveil a brand new studio. So here you go. That's going to be.
I'm excited.
Cool.
I can't wait to see what you do.
Well, Liti, as soon as we finish the Patreon live session today, we are gonna pack everything Like we literally taking down this table. I'm unscrewing everything
Not
from the
the
wall,
table.
taking all those things away, and yeah, we're gonna be starting to set up the studio. So we're starting literally in about an hour and 53 minutes. I'm starting to take things down. All the lights are coming down. All the soundproofing is coming down. Damn, the window is coming down. That is that much we're changing. So here you go. Anyway, Fabio says, woohoo, thanks for the shout out. You're more than welcome, Fabio. You are awesome. And he was also saying new studio. What is Rafakat saying?
Rafakat says, I'm trying to book my flight for January, but prices are very high. Any suggestions or recommend airline from the UK?
Well, so something that happened to me quite recently is I was trying to book flights, and every time I was checking, the price was going up. So I used a VPN or like a private browsing window. And I got at least $200 off for flights. We're going to somewhere else.
And that was just for a 3-hour.
That was just for a 3-hour flight. So that was a pretty big deal. Well, that was 25% discount basically on just that. So that's really important to do that. But aside from that, the flight in January is like the high season in New Zealand. So no matter what, they're always going to be quite expensive, and flying all the way from Europe. Because I'm guessing you're somewhere in Europe, aren't you, Rafakat? Where
Maybe
would it be?
City in the north of England.
Yes, would it be Leeds? Maybe you're from Leeds, I'm not sure. But yeah, so that would be the number one thing that I will do for sure. The second thing that I will do is looking at connections. So when you're flying all the way from the UK, for example, all the way to New Zealand, you probably connect somewhere either in Dubai or maybe in Singapore or maybe in Hong Kong, you know, and that's usually how it works. You get a direct flight there and then you change flight. Try to look for just a flight to Dubai and then just a flight Dubai to New Zealand, and then you probably will find that sometimes it's cheaper, especially if you do different airlines. It is a little bit more fat, but it could save you quite a lot of money, and you know that could add up.
LAX would be perhaps another connection in the US. I took that connection once.
Yeah, okay, that
was
was cheaper.
For that particular flight, yeah. You know, you have to keep comparing all your options because there's not just one route or one airline that does it cheaper than the rest. It
so try to
rarely works like that.
Yeah, try to find yourself a flight from Heathrow, because that's where you're going to be leaving from. Let's be honest, there is no other way. So try to find yourself a flight from Heathrow to Dubai, Heathrow to Singapore, Heathrow to Hong Kong, and Heathrow to LAX, and look at what kind of price you can get on that, and then try to go from that place to Auckland and see if that's not cheaper. Regularly it is. So all right.
But buying flights is always a pain in terms of finding the cheapest thing, and flights, especially after COVID, have all gone up in price as well. So unfortunately it is going to be like the biggest sort of upfront payment you'll have to make for coming to New Zealand. That's for sure.
We have a good addition from Natasha right here, which is one of our Patreons. She's actually a travel agent herself, and she's saying look at one-way routes rather than return flights, and that is actually true. One-way flights and then another one-way flight back is
could be a good
quite regularly
as well.
cheaper than what it is. That's a really good addition, Natasha. I didn't think of that just right on top of my head, but that's very true. We do have on nzpocketguide.com actually an article. If you type cheap flight in the search bar, you'll find an article on how to get cheap flight to New Zealand, where we recap all those tips. Those are just some of the tips that came up to our minds when you asked the question, but there is more on the website, so make sure to check it out, Rafakat. Okay, Fabio says, my pizza guy needs 100 years. Does it mean it takes too long to make the pizzas, or is the pizza 100-year-old? Don't eat it. Something's going wrong right here. If it has mushroom on it, and you didn't order mushroom, that means the pizza is too old.
Yeah. Nice little fact about ordering pizza in New Zealand, guys. If you order quite a complicated pizza, say you want to, change some toppings around off the menu. It's a common thing that people do.
They will get it wrong.
They will get your order wrong, and that's a great way to get a free pizza out of it. It happens to us really like every single time we've ordered pizza.
Every time. That's why we make our pizza ourselves now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not great that they get your order wrong, but just bear in mind, if you are, staying somewhere actually near the pizza place where you can actually go pick up the free pizza afterwards when they inevitably get it wrong, Just so you know, it's pretty common in New Zealand. Happens to us without fail every time, and they always are just like, "Oh, sorry about that. Here's a free pizza." So you know.
And when you say complicated, that means removing one item from the
Yeah,
menu,
if you're just
right?
like, can we have like say the barbecue extreme with no barbecue sauce? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, just that. That you would just say that, and they would get it wrong. I
Yeah.
do not understand why, but yeah, that happens quite often.
So yeah.
Natasha adds something for you, Rafakat, and she says that as an example, her flight ended up being 1,800, and I'm guessing Canadian dollars per person versus $2,500 without by doing just one way and then one way rather than back and forth. So
that's amazing saving.
That's really good savings.
Yeah.
Okay, Violet's Zulu, all the way from South Africa. What's she saying?
She says, "Hi, my besties." Ooh, we're your besties. Saying, "Long time, I miss you guys. I'm still stuck in SA, South Africa, is it?
Yep.
And still waiting for our visas. Don't know when they will be ready."
Yeah, it does take a while. Make sure to join tomorrow. Sorry, not tomorrow, Violet. We have tomorrow. We have a Google Meet actually with all our Patreon, where everybody's going to be able to chat with us live. That's going to be quite fun. But on next Sunday, we are unveiling a brand new studio for live session 200. So Violet, don't miss it next week. It is going to be a lot of fun. What does Nathan says?
Do you know where you are going on the live road trip for the travel show?
It's secret for now. But yes, we do.
know where we're going, yes.
I'm just going to drive randomly, but it's secret right now. So, yes, but surprise.
Yes.
So, Nathan, there needs to be a little bit of mystery right here.
We've already given too much information away about our 200th live show. We
haven't given too much.
We can't give any more information away. Or maybe watch 200th. Maybe we can reveal then.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe?
No.
No.
But yeah, we'll see.
False promises.
When I say yeah, we'll see, it's no.
Yeah.
Laura promises.
Nah. Well,
I'm in charge of schedule.
Yeah.
Laura is in charge of making false promises.
If anyone in New Zealand says yeah, nah, it means
nah.
no. It means no. We won't do that.
Yeah, that's a listen. Okay, Todd is saying.
Todd says, "I saw your video about Lake Rotowiti. Looks
Nice.
like you got the famous pick. I was considering kayaking there as it looks beautiful. Curious if you have any other recommendations."
There are some really cool walks around as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of hiking trails in the area. Just from the shore where the jetty is, there's some really short walks in the forest. So you could do that if you don't have much time. But if you do have more time, you can continue around the lake, drive a bit further around the lake, and there is a really cool sort of mountain hike that you can do for, I forget how long it is, maybe it's like between 2 to 5 hours, I'm not 100% sure, but if you have more time, that is really good to get some extra amazing views of Lake Rotowiti, and yeah, just sort of like a half-day walk that you can do further around the lake. So yeah, but then there's other hiking options to do around the area as well. So yeah, take a look.
I'm just gonna hide the screen.
Okay.
Baby Burns is here. What do you think they're saying?
Baby, I can't remember what
Sup,
Baby Bird
guys?
says. Sup guys, yeah.
I can't believe you forgot. Okay,
can't believe it
what
either.
is Todd saying afterwards?
And Todd says, "Holy," am I allowed to say this on YouTube?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Holy crap. Laura's potty mouth made me rewind 3 times. Oh.
What? Okay, here's an ad, people.
Oh. Okay, sorry, saying, "Holy crap, Laura's potty mouth made me rewind 3 times to hear again and seriously laughed out loud. 5 years ago dropped chips and 309 and the seagulls went effing mental. Super fun."
Do you remember that video, Laura?
Yeah.
So give the people a bit of a recap. What's going on?
So on this channel we have a sort of video series of us doing 365 days of 365 activities around New Zealand. It's called New Zealand's Biggest Gap Year. Check out the playlist on our channel. And early on into the year, really early on, when we're in the Coromandel in the town of Whitianga, we buy ourselves, some classic Kiwi fish and chips, classic meal in New Zealand. And we go and go to sit on the shore to enjoy them, and all of a sudden we get absolutely bombarded by seagulls, and it was effing mental. It was
they were absolutely and
crazy.
everybody in the comments always keep on commenting and saying that we staged that, we placed the camera and all that. genuinely, the GoPro felt like that. Like it fell with it. Like the wind kind of pushed the GoPro and everything. So they just all went all that. Like and you saw how quickly they ate everything. I didn't really have time to set up that shot anyway, right?
Yeah.
And so it was just one of those things that sometimes just happened and it's just this thing. But yeah, they went absolutely crazy. So we saw all our food being eaten. It's a really funny video. So if you look if you type like Fitianga and Z Pocket Guide, you can watch that. It's quite funny. And yeah, I wasn't kind of censoring what we were saying back in the days. Yeah.
I think it might have been the day that we did the 309 road.
Yeah, that's why it says 309.
309.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So so check out that. Search. I think 309 road.
Well, anyway, I will find it and share it if needed. But yeah, that's a really funny one. Oh, thanks for the donation, Todd. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I love the fact it shows on screen as well now. That's cool. It used to not show on screen, so yeah, we don't really often have donations. So first up, that means a lot to us. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
That's like a month's worth of Patreon subscribers. That's really nice.
I'm glad my potty mouth can contribute to our funds. Can I get paid more for swearing?
She will make a lot of money. We will be millionaire.
And is that like a dancing avocado or a pear? Is it a pear?
I don't know what it is.
I think it might be a dancing pear.
What I like is the sweat headbands. That is just making it great. But yeah, so first time it means a lot to us. You know that we know we received less than 10 donation over. Well, we've been on YouTube for like 5 years.
Nearly 200 episodes coming up next week, guys.
So yeah, pretty cool. We appreciate that a lot, mate. Rafa Cat says, thank you, Natasha, Laura and Robin for your advice. You're very welcome, mate.
Yeah, we came together and gave you the best answer we possibly could.
And then JT says, greetings, NZ Pocket Guide. Where would you recommend snorkeling to see sea life on the South Island? 12 days to go. Woo, JT's coming soon as well.
Nice.
Oh my God.
We have to. Oh, are they? Is Seal Swim Kaikoura running yet?
I don't know if they're running just yet, but maybe throughout your trip, Seal Swimming Kaikoura is going to reopen, and that is my favorite activity to do in the whole of New Zealand, where you go swim with seals in Kaikoura. So that will be the first thing that I will recommend for you. For sure, just because I'm so into that activity. However, they're not open just yet. They probably will reopen at some point this summer. We just don't know when, and it could be any time now. So here you go. So that'll be the first one.
One recommendation.
Where else on the South Island would you go and snorkel, Laura?
I suggest going to Loch Mara, which is in the Marlborough Sound. So you access it by going to Picton, and then they will have Loch Mara has its own water taxi, takes you to their lodge area there. They have snorkeling that you can do there. I think they can provide you with snorkeling gear, or you can take. I'm not 100% sure if they can provide it for you. They provided it for us on the occasion, but not sure if they're still doing that. But either way,
because of course, so the reason why we hesitate is because of COVID. There's a lot of things that have changed in the way they operate and everything. So there are some operators like Dolphin Swim in Kaikoura, for example, that we know they still provide all the gears. They do have to go through like extra washing and extra things like that, and make sure that people don't share their stuff in the boat. There is like a lot of new stuff, right? So that's what we're unsure about Loch Mara, but I think they still do. Yeah.
So, but either way, they're happy for you to snorkel there, and they even have an underwater observatory because there is so much to see, and you can snorkel with stingrays, lots of schools of fish. We do have a video actually on this channel of us going there, so if you want to check out what it's like to snorkel there. The water is very chilly, even in summer. It is quite it's not the warmest, so I don't know how long you want to snorkel for, but we just snorkeled for a short time when we were there. But yeah, Loch Mara is definitely a better option. That's also at the northern end of the South Island, so obviously the further south you go, the colder it's going to get, maybe a bit less comfortable for snorkeling. So yeah.
Speaking of other awesome places to go snorkel, Kaikoura to go swim with dolphins, Akaroa to go swim with dolphins as well are two amazing places to snorkel on the South Island. Alright, so I hope that this answers your question, JT. A quick reminder to everybody about the question of the day. Question of the day. Question of the day.
Yes.
Question of the
day.
Wow, Laura is an amazing singer. She's always her. She sings both voices when we're not on screen. You guys just don't see it, but she does both the deep French voice as well as the English small.
My impression of Robin is uncanny. uncanny.
Yes, but only when she's not on screen. Anyway, the question of the day today is in the live chat, so go nuts and go vote there. We want to know which of those out of those 4 places only. You have to pick out of those 4 which places are you the most looking forward to visit. Rotorua, Auckland and Queenstown. Auckland just took over Rotorua right now, so keep on voting. It matters. The vote has changed significantly.
Your voice matters here, guys.
Indeed. You have an impact. There's only 23 votes, right? So your vote genuinely has an impact. So go nuts and vote. All right, Helen Wilkinson says, hi, Robin and Laura. It's, some people, I don't know if you've heard, but some people call us Laro, actually.
Yes, as we found out on our last live session from one of our lovely Indian viewers.
Yes. Hi to everybody in India, by the way. All right, so hi, Robin and Laura. It's my last day in Auckland before my flight back to the UK tonight. Oh, exciting. What are you doing for your last day, Helen? We want to know. She says, I had a fantastic time and I will definitely be coming back. And she says she's been there for about a month. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's pretty awesome, Helen.
Wow.
What have you done? Okay, pick your 3 highlights of being in New Zealand. And also, I want to know what you're doing for your last day. All right, everybody, so this live chat is yours. You're asking us your questions about traveling in New Zealand and we answer it for you. So while you guys are thinking about your next question, we're going to catch up with our friend Armand. Armand is a French backpacker that decided to come to New Zealand to take a gap year. He's going to report with us every single week and tell us what he has been up to. And this week, he's been up to a lot. So check it out and we'll see you just at the end of this video.
Kia ora everyone, this is Armand reporting on the 2nd week of my working holiday in New Zealand. I'm still in Auckland and what a week it has been, full of memorable experiences. So first, of course, we had the Women's Rugby World Cup opening day at Eden Park last Saturday. Oh my god, the crowd was going crazy every time a try was about to happen. We had the double performance by Rita Ora and she absolutely nailed it. The atmosphere was epic and I think we set a new attendance record of 40,000. After that I did the All Blacks experience at Sky City the day after and learned quite a bit on the history and background of the All Blacks and the Kamate Haka. It was really nice. The instructor, the guide was really nice and it was clear that he was really passionate about what he was doing. Then I went to the Auckland Central Library and made a few changes to my CV based on advice provided by my Airbnb host. The day after that I did the skywalk and sky jump, and I must say I have a fear of heights, but the instructor does a terrific job of making you feel safe, and after just a few minutes you start to feel really comfortable. So yeah, if you're like me and have a fear of heights, I think you should still do it because once you're on the ground you feel like a superhero. And they also gave us a t-shirt and this nice cap to remember that day. Yeah, and then I went to the post office to ask a few questions on the procedure to ship mail and parcels to overseas, and I saw actually the bird at the post office, so that was funny. I passed my learner's license test with a perfect score, which is not an achievement considering how easy it is here. Then I went to the WETA workshop Unleashed experience at Sky City. It's right above the All Blacks experience, and I definitely recommend this to people who are into fantasy movies and pop culture in general. I thought it was really immersive and quite a memorable experience. Yeah, the environments, the objects around are really well done, and it's a worthwhile experience. And then after that I went to a place where I got this native fern whose leaves, a few of them, I got laminated and sent to my friends back in Paris as a cool souvenir. Here it is, one of them, which I kept for me. Yeah, that was a silly idea I had. of a souvenir. And then I went to the Westfield Newmarket cinema and watched a horror movie called Smile, ironically. That was nice. I really liked both the movie and the cinema. Then I shipped a parcel filled with New Zealand candies and sweets, along with some keychains, to some of my friends back in Paris. And I think that wraps it up for this week. So until next week, take care of yourselves.
All right, guys.
That was looks like he's having a pretty awesome time in New Zealand. It is an awesome second week of a working holiday. I just have one question though. What is he going to do with his plant while he's traveling?
So he's going to be traveling, taking Kiwi Experience bus around. I think the plan is staying with his host. I don't think the plan.
Yeah.
I am interested to know. Yeah. But also, I want to know what he's doing next week. So yeah, tune in next week to see what is Armand doing next week. Yeah. So here you go. All right, where are we at?
We're at Fabio. He has a question for you saying, what is your favourite NZ food and why is it Weet-Bix?
If you guys don't know, I'm not a fan of Weet-Bix. My favorite food is actually Marmite. I think it's a great breakfast.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just it's such a typical Kiwi thing. I think the reason why I do like Marmite so much is because it's a real kind of Kiwi treat, and it just feels like you're experiencing the country itself.
Yeah,
so
I like to eat it by the spoonful.
Yes. So I do love Marmite in the morning to start my day. I think it's absolutely great. And on top of that, Marmite has some great properties like keeping sandflies away.
Which definitely works.
Yeah, it's really cool. So I have Marmite morning, lunch and dinner usually, and just on the side I have like just one carrot or something. So yeah, here you go. Now my favorite New Zealand food, I'd say, is actually real fruit ice cream that you can get on the roadside. I just think it's every single time I have it, it is just an absolute treat. So I absolutely love that. So yeah, Marmite, don't try it. All right, next question. Anthony says, when I come over, I am planning to bring my GoPro, my laptop, my iPad, and my phone. Do I have to declare each thing separately, including the chargers for it and for the battery for the GoPro? And everything else separate piece by piece, or can I just declare as one item for each item, like my laptop and cords?
Yeah. So with in terms of declaring, like when you're declaring to biosecurity, you don't need to declare electronic items. That's not one of the...
Yeah, you don't really need to declare them. So, because you're using it just for your personal use, you're coming as a tourist and everything. Yeah. So you won't even need to declare them.
So first of all, you won't need to declare it. However, if you're packing, like we've said, you need to pack like batteries in your carry-on rather than in your check-in luggage. So when you've got things like, if you have any electronics in your carry-on and your batteries and stuff, when you go through airport security, you'll have to take out those separate items and have them separate from your luggage, just put them in a separate tray, and they usually prefer at security to separate those. Yeah. If you don't
she's talking not about declaring it, but when passing through the x-ray, that's what they will ask you
and that's
to do,
before boarding your flight. But if you don't know the whole process of going through security at the airport, the guys there, the staff there will guide you through it anyway, so it's nothing to be nothing to be stressed about and stuff. Just remember that batteries, like lithium batteries, you bet your best to your best to pack those in your carry-on, because having those in your check-in luggage is usually restricted, so make sure they're in your carry-on.
All right, we do have Todd that asked about drones actually, so let's go over that. Say, I saw in one video with you flying a drone. I know that New Zealand is relaxed with drone if responsible. Mine is under 249 grams. New Zealand is not relaxed with drone at all.
No, it's not relaxed.
I really don't want to stand out and just do a few quick shots here and there. Just wanting to hear what you say about drone flying for pictures only in non-crowded area. Thanks, you both rock, and thanks for everything. You're very welcome, Todd. So New Zealand is definitely not relaxed with drone. If you are in any Department of Conservation or Dockland, so any of the hike, any of the national parks and everything, you do not have the right to fly drones unless you get prior authorization, and you have to pay for each each time you actually ask to use a drone. So it costs a lot. It is not allowed to use drone. If you do use drone on top of any other private properties, which everything else will be, you have to have consent from the owners. And yeah, quite often you have to get permits and you have to pay for things. So yeah, definitely not relaxed. We had every single time that we were flying drones, in national park or dock places and everything, we had to do some paperwork. That also, New Zealand has a lot of airport. You'll be surprised by the amount of airport that we have, especially like small field airport where it doesn't look like there's an airport nearby. So there's a lot of places where you cannot fly at all, and it's going to be like, oh, need to come down. So even with a drone which is under 249 grams, like the Mini 3, which is probably the drone you have and the drone that we have, we're going to be testing it for the first time in a few weeks. During one of our trip, you've got to do paperwork every time. So just to be aware of that. It is not that easy to use a drone in New Zealand just for this little shot here and there, if you want to do it legally. But we do have an article on NZ Pocket Guide that will link you to the right place. So you type drone on the search bar, and it will kind of send you to the right website where you can do some research. But definitely do your research. For most travelers coming to New Zealand, we actually suggest not bringing your drone. It'll make your life easier.
Yeah. Anthony has...
I'm sorry about the bad news, though. I just hate saying bad news. I love you too, Todd.
Anthony has another interesting question saying, by the way, that brought up something. Are you able to buy stuff, then ship it back to your house from over there? So, yeah, there is international shipping.
Yeah, that's what Armand just did in the video.
Yeah, exactly. So if you just rewind, you can see that Armand did that himself. If you go to any NZ Post shop, there are other shipping companies as well. But NZ Post is the
most prominent one. It's everywhere,
It's in all small towns, large towns. It's easy to find. So yeah, you can go over there and you can, they have packaging as well. You can fill up a box and send it back to the US.
And quite often it's actually cheaper to ship something back to US rather than having like an extra luggage to check into your
for your return flight. However, it isn't cheap though.
No, it's not cheap.
To send items back, you may be surprised at how expensive it is. Maybe even if you're sending just a small parcel, it can be quite expensive. So maybe just sorry.
I have an addition on that. So if you want to do it on the cheap and you're not too fussed about how long it will take, there is a company called Pack and Send, which they will actually put it on a shipping container. So it's going to take really a long time to get back to the US, but it will be significantly cheaper, and it will depend on the size of the box. I can't really compare the prices for you, but just sending it through NZ Post won't be cheap.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to add. So there is an option to do it a little bit cheaper. Yeah,
cool.
Okay, Adrian Weingard, who I probably have this show,
maybe.
I am so sorry, Adrian. He said, "Hi guys, thank you for the fun and informative video from South Africa." Hey, thank you very much. Yeah. Are you Violet's neighbor?
Do all people from South Africa know each other?
Fabio says, Marmite, not Vegemite. No, Vegemite is Australian, Marmite is Kiwi. So here you go. Lawrence, one of our amazing Patreons, she has a question. She say, hello, folks. Oh, I like that. It's very Bugs Bunny-like of yours.
Sure, what's up, Doc, would be more.
But don't they say that's all?
Oh,
folks
yeah, that's all, folks,
coming back from a birthday for a 1-year-old. Don't ask.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I was about to ask. Sorry, I'm a little late. Brightside self-served mimosas at 2 p.m. Yes, please. Wow.
Yum.
Okay, so she's buzzed, I'm pretty sure. Main question for you, Lawrence. Have you bought hiking shoes? And if yes, are they comfortable? And are you happy with the one you got? So.
And did you actually go to a store to try
yes,
some on?
Did you end up standing up and not ordering it on Amazon?
Yeah.
Helen says, I'm going to the Sky Tower for her last day, visiting different places around Auckland. Oh no, that's what she's preferred. Going to Queenstown and spending time with my friends and family. I've also been
in a fire truck. Interesting.
That's a random thing to do in New Zealand, go to a fire truck, but I like it.
I have to say that's an experience we actually haven't done in New Zealand. We haven't been in a fire truck. We've been in an old fire truck.
Yeah, we've been to an old fire truck, and I've been in one of the fire truck when we went to do a photo shoot not too far from here. I've been in it was a fire ute, so it was a smaller fire truck, but I've been in one of them, so here you go.
Yeah.
All right, so that was random. And Helen, what are you doing for your last day in New Zealand? I want to know. Okay, JT says signing up for an explorer as a Patreon tier as we speak. So thanks for what you guys do. Thank you so much for joining us. That's epic. I'm going to be looking to see if you join us on the Facebook group. So on the message that you get on Patreon, when you sign up, you should have a link to the Facebook group if you want to join right now, so we can get you onto the next live session. I mean, the live session literally in 30 minutes. You also have a link for the live session on Patreon right now. So if you join us there, we can introduce you to all the stuff and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna keep checking to see if you asked to join, because it's like one of those things where you need to ask the admin, and I happen to be an admin to approve you on there. So there you go. That's the admin.
On your high horse.
Yes, on my high admin horse. That's the name of my horse, admin. All right. So we're glad to have you on board, JT. I hope you love all the stuff that we have for you in on Patreon. There is definitely going to be a lot, especially in the coming weeks. For sure, you're going to have a lot to see. So yeah, catch up with us at the during the Patreon live show. We'll go over everything.
So Fabio's talking about drones, saying you need about 100 permits for drone shots. Some people do it without, but it can cost you a lot.
Yeah, the fines are pretty big. And let's keep going with drones. We're going to go back to Natasha afterwards.
Okay.
Todd said, drone comment, much appreciated to hear your opinion, drone staying home for this trip. Yeah, and again, it's entirely your choice. As Fabio was saying, some people do it like without that. But if you get caught, it is, first, you're losing your drone, and also, it can cost quite a lot of money. Just get a long selfie stick with your GoPro and you'll have some really good shots.
And also the thing to note with New Zealand and flying drones is that like one of the main wildlife in New Zealand are birds. So that's kind of...
the hawks don't like drones, especially the small ones.
Yeah,
so I did test, sorry to cut, but just speaking about that, I did test the Mini 3 not so long ago, as we just got it and we kind of, training a little bit with it before we go on a trip and going to practice with it. And was it a Harrier Hawk, you think that was? Yeah, I think that was a Harrier Hawk that was like circling and really kind of like really keen for that, and we were in a place where we had the right to film and everything. But yeah, the hawk was really not happy and wasn't happy with my paperwork apparently, and so we had to come down. And those small drones at 240 grams, I can tell you, they do not withstand the New Zealand hawk for long. So
that's the thing to bear in mind as well when you're flying drones is there's bird life that New Zealanders want to protect as well, so there's that to bear in mind too.
All right, let's just rewind over there and go back to Natasha's comment. What is Natasha? Hey, by the way, we've got 30 people watching right now. That's been a long time we have had such a big number of people. So we are stoked to have every single one of you guys right now. It's just so good. It means like traveling in New Zealand is getting back in there. So yeah, I'm stoked to have you guys on board.
Guys, if you're lurking in the shadows, you can always come in.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. We read all the comments, so your questions is not going to be considered stupid. Oh, somebody left. We are 29. I don't care about you guys no more. That's it.
All right. Natasha says, question about the Kaikoura dolphin swim. Is the tour right out in the deep open water, or is it closer to the coast? It is close to the coast, however, it is open water. It is deep open water.
Yeah, so the Kaikoura Canyon, basically you kind of have a certain depth, which no matter what, when you jump in the water, you're not going to see the bottom. Just making that clear, you're not. It is really deep.
Yeah.
And then the canyon kind of drops, and usually you are just close to where it drops, because that's where all the sea life is kind of going. So that's usually where it is. So you're fairly far from the coast for sure. You may want to rewind and rewatch our video of us doing that activity. So you kind of get a feel we have the GoPro in the water, so you'll be able to see how far from land we are. You are always within swimming distance of the boats. They're very safe with that, but you cannot get back to land by swimming, or you're quite far, and there is quite a lot of swell and current. Things are happening.
Seasickness is very common on those trips.
Yes. Because the dolphins like where there's waves and they play more playful, so you have to kind of go where there's waves. So you may want to pop in that sea legs tablets that we talked about in the last live session.
Deep water isn't an option due to a phobia, and we are hoping to do the swimming with seals instead, but the company hasn't returned since COVID. Yeah, we're hoping they're going to reopen.
But it is like dark, deep water. You just watch the video again, you'll see you don't see anything at the bottom, for sure. It's something I really love though. So maybe what about we vanquish this phobia? What about we try it? I love it. I love just being in water and knowing that there is hundreds of meters below me of amazing amount of lives, and you see nothing and you don't know what. I love that.
So mysterious, the ocean.
It just fills me with whimsy and wonders.
Yeah. But yeah, it's right to assume that swimming with seals would be a much better option if you're scared of deep water. It is close to the coast, and you can put your hand on rocks and things too if you're feeling unsure. And but yeah, hopefully they do reopen. It's one of our favourite things to do in the whole of New Zealand, so we really, really hope that they do reopen.
I shouldn't have made a joke, by the way, about 30 viewers. We're down to 24. Like, everybody left. They were like, what, you address us directly?
We were way too keen, way too eager.
Yeah, I was just too happy. MK has a good question for you, Laura. What is the current corona situation concerning restriction? Thanks.
So yeah, current situation is that the borders are fully reopened. You don't even need to be vaccinated to come to New Zealand. It's strongly recommended. It's recommended, yes, but you don't even need to be vaccinated to come to New Zealand. When you arrive in New Zealand, they give you the option. It's not mandatory, but it's an option that they will give you a rat test, which you can take on the day you arrive, then day 3, and then you can choose to give your results to the government, basically, if you decide you want to do that. So basically, the short story is that the borders are open like they were prior to COVID. You just still have the same restrictions in terms of visas, making sure that you legally can come to the country.
Like the normal restrictions.
Just normal restrictions, yeah.
And when it comes to traveling around New Zealand, even in planes and buses and everything, masks are not mandatory anymore. The places where masks are mandatory is with health facilities. So if you were to go to an elderly care house, I didn't need to punch my desk. If you were to go to an elderly care house, if you have to go to a hospital or to a medical facilities, then at that point you will have to wear a mask. Aside from that, everywhere else, sometimes it is recommended to wear a mask, but it is not mandatory. So here you go. That's what the current restrictions are in New Zealand. So it's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
Baby Burns says, guys, recommend a good NZ travel / off-road YouTuber, please, or daily vlogger, perhaps.
I haven't hanged out on YouTube for quite a while. Oh yeah, what's the name of those two ladies that I was talking to? Oh, what's their name? No, I can't remember the name. Let me just try to find it.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah, read what Lauren's saying. I'm gonna try to find those two ladies.
Lawrence says, I went to a real store.
Oh no,
I've just lost my comments.
Sorry.
I went to a real store. Yes, I couldn't find the right size in the hiking shoes section. I ended up getting a hybridish shoes, Adidas walking shoes, which are a little high on the ankles, super comfy. They're definitely not meant for hardcore hiking, and I wouldn't call myself buzzed. I'm in a happy place. So well, that's good. It's good to be in the happy place.
She's not buzzed. Well, that's the mimosas, right? She doesn't get too drunk fast enough. That's the problem with mimosas.
Yeah. Well, at least you found something that's hopefully suitable. I hope they're kind of waterproof, but I'm guessing they're probably not if they're Adidas walking shoes. But maybe you'll decide not to go walking on a rainy day instead, because that's always the thing that gets you. Like when we first started
here you go, I got the name. Yeah.
Oh, cool. When we first started New Zealand's biggest gap year, Robin had to change his hiking shoes straight away because they got wet on like day 3, and he was like, I cannot do the whole trip with these shoes.
No, not happening.
Yeah, but best of luck with the shoes.
Okay, Baby Burns, we do really like those two girls. I can't believe I forgot the name. I don't believe it's very easy. It's called Travel Kiwi.
Oh, that's easy.
So if you find Travel Kiwi, it's pretty cool. I do really like their daily love vlogs and everything. And so I like those girls. They're cool. So here you go.
Yeah, check them out.
Hi, ladies. I zoomed with them not that long ago, actually. I really like them.
Yeah. I
like their personality. They're quite informative. I like them a lot. So yeah, where are we at? Helen?
Helen says, my last day, going for a walk, finish packing, take some photos, and head to the airport.
Sounds like about what you do on the last day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always kind of try to give us something like epic to do and everything, but it's always like on the last day, not always epic.
Helen, are you taking any Whittaker's chocolate back home for the family and friends back home?
Yes, if not, why are you not?
If not, why not? That would be so cruel not to.
Speaking of souvenir, Adil says Armand has an interesting idea to laminate leaves for souvenir. Can you let us know when the intended recipient received them? Well, it's by mail, so yeah, I'll ask him to tell you guys when that happens. But yeah, it's by mail, so it depends. It takes some time, right? For example, on Patreon, we have one of the perks is that every season, so when the season starts, we send a postcard to our Patreon supporters. And it goes all over the place. I know Tamo in Estonia still haven't received his postcard, while I sent some SIM cards to Christina and to Chad because they wanted to set up their phone before they arrived. So I sent them SIM cards and top-ups and everything like that to them. And yeah, it arrived like relatively quickly, so it's kind of a little all over the place. But yeah, I do think that was a cool idea. I actually did tell Laura when I was editing the video. I was like, "Hey, look at this idea. That was really smart."
Yeah, that is quite cool. I'll be interested to see how long the fern survives. Like, what happens to the fern? Like, laminated. Like, will it dry out? Will it? Will it still be preserved enough for it to be a nice, like, long-term souvenir, or will it kind of?
Yeah, I don't really know.
I'm not sure.
We need to catch up in like 3 years with Armand's friends. I need to organize logistically this, so we'll see. And Fabio says, what is the situation about Lake Topo volcanic risk? I heard it's at level 1 again. Yeah, so Lake Topo, I don't know if a lot of people know that, but Lake Topo is actually a massive underwater volcano.
It's
like
a super volcano.
It's a super volcano. So the basically the lake is the crater of the volcano. It's really, really a big volcano. And when this erupts, New Zealand's no more. Like, it's a really large thing. And so yeah, the alert level was raised to level 2. It's back down to level 1. There's just a few tremors here and there that happens. We live not too far from Lake Topo.
Did we feel an earthquake last night, or was that you shaking your leg and trying to convince me it was an earthquake?
When?
Do you remember that?
No.
Last night.
What? When we were at the...
No, when we were in bed, like in the middle of the night, you were like, "Can you feel that?" And it was
Oh,
like,
no.
and I was like, I could feel tremors. Like, I thought it was an earthquake.
That was,
Maybe you were just pulling my leg. I don't know. We'll have to check.
Slow and nightly accident. It's okay, it happens.
I'm sorry, I just had that outburst of remembering that. But...
Okay, no, I don't remember at all.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
So yeah, maybe there's a few small tremors. Perhaps, we don't know. We've been, in our sleep, we might have felt something. But yeah, but people aren't really concerned.
Nah.
Nobody's...
That'd be fine. To be fair, if the volcano erupts, we're all dead. Like, it's it's such a big volcano. It's kind of like, what's,
It could have a small volcanic eruption.
the size of that crater, if it's small, we're all dead.
They might make a new mini crater. It's not like... That is a crater from one explosion.
Okay, Laura, geologist expert right here, loving it. Yeah.
We actually do have a friend who is a volcanologist, so maybe we should ask him.
You know what? One day I'll take him as the live show. He's going to be my guest instead of Laura, so like that we can actually talk about volcanoes. Because right now we're talking out of our rear ends.
Yeah, right now I'm, speculating whether I felt an earthquake last night, and it could have all been literally in my head. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask.
Nathan is pitching in about last days and says, I remember what I did on my last day in Christchurch by doing a walk through the Riccarton Mall and then driving to the airport. Ooh, went shopping. I like it. Armand keeps on mentioning shopping center and said that he really likes them in each of this video. I don't know why he really likes the shopping centers here as well. So yeah, I think we take it for granted now. We've been in New Zealand for over 10 years now.
Yeah,
we take them for granted.
I have to say the shopping centers in New Zealand aren't a highlight for me. I feel like coming from Europe...
Yeah, but again, you hate shopping, so that's
I do hate
hard.
shopping, but I feel like the shopping centres in Europe have so much more to them. If you're coming from... I guess it's maybe the same in the US and places like that. I feel like coming from a sort of developed country, I feel like New Zealand's shopping malls are probably the least impressive.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's Laura's take.
Yeah.
Guys, there is only 10 minutes left to this live show, so make sure that you head into the live chat right now and first ask your questions, but also vote for the question of the day. Which place are you the most looking forward to visiting most? So is it going to be... I read that so bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, which place are you the most looking forward to visit the most? He says, again, and...
Which of these places are you looking forward to visiting the most?
That's it. So Rotorua, Auckland, Queenstown and Wellington, come on, go to vote. There is a very small amount of difference between all the votes. So your vote will matter. Within the next, let's say, 5 minutes before I close the poll, the next 3 or 4 people are going to vote are going to decide the winner. Your vote matters right now. So go nuts and vote. There's only 30 votes. So every single time you vote, it makes a genuine difference. All right.
Wow, you should be a campaigner for something that actually matters. Because I was convinced I wanted to vote. I was like going to get my phone out. And like,
oh, wow.
Okay, I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote, Robin.
Go for it.
All right.
Speaking of checking my phone, you're going to read the next comment from MK. I'm going to check if JT is making it to the group.
All right. MK says, thanks for the detailed answer. That sounds very good that you can go about your daily life without vaccination and mask, just like before 2019. Then I would immediately come back to New Zealand. Yeah. Yeah.
JT hasn't joined yet.
Definitely feels back to normal in New Zealand.
Indeed.
And it feels good. It feels good.
Nathan says, what would you be doing if Lake Taupo erupted? Die. There is no way we can escape. I mean, it's so like pretty much everybody in North Island will be affected pretty bad, and we are relatively close to Lake Taupo. We're like less than an hour nearby from the lake. Like, we're dead. There is no other way around it. And on top of it,
It depend on how severe the eruption is.
I think with the size of that volcano, we're just dead. Maybe I'm a green person, but damn, I don't see
We
how.
probably wouldn't be in a good state. Let's just say that.
No, absolutely not. And speaking of being in a good state, Anthony says, stay safe, but I'm here until the end. So he's 10 minutes early, but he knows he's really packing his bag right now. So, he's busy. He's busy leaving for New Zealand right now. So he's like, okay, I'm going to get my sentence out, and then
He's like, I'm going to put all my batteries in my on my carry-on luggage.
Yes,
I'm going to put my other stuff in my check-in. Ugh. I wish those two terms didn't both begin with C, because it's kind of hard to say the right one.
Yes, like canvas. Every time I try to check in my canvas is nonsense.
Yeah. I'm glad you understand.
Yes. All right, guys. So keep on voting right here. I'm about to close it. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to close it right now.
I'm going to close it. I'm bored. Let's have a look at it.
I want to get an answer here. Nathan lives in the town of Taupo. He says, if Lake Taupo erupted, I will be sitting on the lakefront watching the show. Yeah, so we'd be in the same situation, except you would enjoy the show. I'll just be dead because you will too. You cannot sit on the lakefront and enjoy the show. I'm sorry, mate. That will be the end of you. All right. So, which of those places are you looking forward the most to visit? Was the question of of the week, and we ask you between Auckland, Rotorua, Queenstown, and Wellington. And at 33%, Auckland is taking the winning spot. Woo! Just a few percentage above Rotorua at 30%. Now, well lower, we have Queenstown at 23%. And last, we have Wellington at 13%. So, Laura, what do you like the most about Auckland? Which is a winner. What do you think people are looking forward to the most? Well, I have an idea. I know why.
Okay, so what I think is the best thing about Auckland is hopping on a ferry from the downtown ferry terminal and heading to one of the really awesome islands, just a short ferry ride from
I don't think
Central
that's why
Auckland.
people are looking forward to the most of Auckland.
Well, they should, because they should go to Rangitoto
Yes.
Island.
Yeah, it's an
really
amazing thing to
cool.
do, but I don't think that's why it attracts people more to Auckland.
They want to
And
see
Fabio
the
even-
Rugby World Cup.
No, even Fabio says, why Auckland? It is the least one I would want to visit again. I get it, Fabio, but the reason is because once you land in Auckland, you finally made it to New Zealand. That damn long flight is over. That damn long flight is over. Your adventure is beginning. You're picking up your rental car, camper van, or you're hopping on your bus for your adventure. It's kind of like the beginning of the adventure. That's when the adrenaline is coming. That's when it feels real. And that feeling of arriving in Auckland is why people are looking forward to the most. When you arrive there, when it all begins, it's just the beginning of your epic adventure. You are starting your journey.
Thinking. You guys all think much deeper than I do.
I think that's why. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong. If you voted for Auckland for another reason, go nuts and tell me. But I think that's why you guys are almost looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Fabio says no. Wellington is the true options. I mean, I actually, if I have to pick between all of those, I think I would vote for Rotorua for sure.
I think you're gonna hate me for saying this.
Oh no, I don't want to hear that you vote for Queenstown.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear
Queenstown.
it. But yeah, Todd says I agree. Fabio, Rotorua was really the right answer. He's being cheeky right here.
Yeah.
That's okay. You guys can debate it in there. I just think this is why people have voted for Auckland. That's just my personal opinion, but that is it. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap up this live show because, as I said, we're gonna do a Patreon live show right now, and on top of that, we have to basically change this whole studio for you next week. So here you go. Let's get wrapping this one. So let's get wrapping.
Oh, no, I'm not rapping, Robin. It would be so embarrassing.
Okay, so let's just wrap up then. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this live show. We really appreciate it. We'll be back here next week at exactly the same time with live session number 200. Come and ask all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. We appreciate everybody asking questions and even contributing. Todd, you were absolutely awesome this time around.
He says, I think the Auckland Tourism Centre logged in to mess up the poll. Yeah,
Yes,
that's probably the true reason.
Rafa Cat says he voted for Rotorua. So I'm like, we are like-minded people. I like it. And Anthony says he voted for Wellington. So yeah, see you all guys next week. And anyone on Patreon, join us for the live show. It's starting literally in about a minute. See you soon. Bye-bye.
See ya. Thanks for joining.